Hello everyone, welcome back to my 5th video. This video is a one shot of Koganegawa x Goshiki. I think this ship is very rare and underrated and I like seeing them together. I mean it's so cute, how can you not love them? Anyways, this video will include fluff and comfort. This video does not have any sadness or angst in, so don't worry. Yes, I am being kind to all of you. This video is also kind of inspired by the manhwa Operation. True love. You guys don't have to read the manhwa to understand this story, but to those who have read it, I hope you guys will enjoy the story. This story is completely unplanned, but I just had this idea. I am sorry for the grammar mistakes or even phrases. Grammarly is not helping me. Goshiki has just come inside his dorm room still in his gym uniform, still wearing his shiratorizawa jacket and pants. When he finally went inside his room he felt free. Free from the coach who always yelled at him, free from Tendou who kept annoying him, and free from Shirabu who kept pestering him. Goshiki didn't take his time to go to the bathroom to wash his face or brush his teeth, or even changed his clothes. He immediately went straight to bed with his uniform on. Just as soon as Goshiki felt like he could finally go to sleep, he heard his phone ringing 3 times. Goshiki didn't answer, he just groaned and went back to sleep. But when he heard 3 more notifications he just couldn't. He felt like he was ignoring the person who was trying to message him, so he decided to grab his phone from the desk and see who was trying to text him. From Kanji Koganegawa. Time 11:05 p.m. Hello Goshiki. Are you awake? Oh sorry, you must be sleeping right now. Good night Goshiki. From Kanji Koganegawa. Time 11:06 p.m. Hey Goshiki, if it's not too much to ask, do you maybe wanna go somewhere with me tomorrow? Goshiki blinks as he reads the text notification from his phone. He forgot that he now had Koganegawa's phone number from the first year training camp. At first, they talked about volleyball and their teammates and what they wanted to improve on. Later they talk about other interests other than volleyball. For example, their favorite food, their favorite band, their favorite actress. Goshiki opened his keyboard and tried to text him back. I think I'm not busy tomorrow. Why? Where do you wanna go? Ah, that's great then. Have you heard of Princess Garden? I wanted to ask you earlier in the morning, but I didn't want to get another penalty for being late to practice. Goshiki couldn't read what his text message says. He was too tired to read his text, and it was hard to keep his eyes open due to the brightness of the screen in such a dark room. So he decided to end the conversation in the most formal way possible. Okay. After Goshiki sends him that, he puts his phone back on the desk, but it falls, causing it to land on the floor. Goshiki groans. Even so, he decided to switch his bed position facing the wall and forgetting that his phone was on the floor. 7:35 a.m. Goshiki got woken up by the sound of his alarm ringing non-stop. He tried reaching for his phone on the desk, but he felt like he was grabbing the air instead. Goshiki panicked for a bit, thinking he had lost his phone, but he was surprised to see it on the floor. Oh right, I was texting someone and I tried putting my phone back on my desk, but it accidentally slipped and fell down. Goshiki stretches his body before standing up and grabbing his phone from the floor. I wonder who I texted, he asked before opening his lock screen and saw one message from Koganegawa. From Kanji Koganegawa. Time 11:07 p.m. Yesterday. Ah, okay then. It's decided. So, should we meet at 8:50 a.m? Goshiki blinked his eyes trying to read the text from Koganegawa, and when he did he screamed. Ha. Goshiki rubs his eyes and blinks again. It was real. He did agree to go out somewhere with him. Goshiki panicked, he didn't know what to do, or even knows what to wear. He only has half an hour left. Goshiki knew the right person to go to, but it would mean spilling out his secret on that person. I hope he won't ask me too much questions. Goshiki opened the app and scrolled down to his list of friends from the people he previously chatted with and clicked Satori Tendou. Tendou, are you awake? Goshiki waited for his response, but it was getting quite late. 1 minute has passed, but it felt like it has been 1 hour. Maybe this whole thing is a waste of time. I should cancel the plans with Koganegawa. He went back to his list of friends and scrolled up to Koganegawa's name. When he clicked on it, he saw that Koganegawa had already sent him another message. Good morning Goshiki. Goshiki saw the smiling emoticons Koganegawa sent him at the end of his message. he couldn't help but smile. He felt his heart flutter and little did he know he was blushing a bit. But that didn't last long when he remembered that he needed to cancel the plans. Ah, right. Goshiki opened his keyboard up and just as he was about to text him back he saw a notification from Tendou. From Satori Tendou. Time 7:37 AM. Oh, the future ace has texted me. What is it that you need? Upon seeing that, Goshiki felt happy and he never thought that he will from Tendou ever message him. He decided to text him first before texting Koganegawa, even though he knew that Koganegawa would know that he had already seen his messages. I need your help. Goshiki texted him desperately. He didn't realize he was texting in full caps. Especially to his senior. Oh, is something wrong, Goshiki? So, after I finished practicing inside the gym and went to my dorm, I saw that Koganegawa had texted me, so I texted him back, but I just couldn't see what he was messaging me about, so I just said okay without even knowing. He asked me if I wanted to go to a place called Princess Garden. I don't even know where that is. After Goshiki had sent that to Tendou, he decided to send another message to him. What should I do? I have heard of Princess Garden before, although I never went there, but I'm pretty sure Semi and Shirabu had been there together. Goshiki lifted an eyebrow when he saw that Tendou mentioned that Semi and Shirabu had already been there together. Of course they already went there together. Goshiki stopped thinking when he saw that Tendou was trying to message him back. So at what time did you guys plan to meet? 8:50 AM. But I don't even know what to do. Goshiki sighs to himself. Maybe you can ask Shirabu or Semi. They did went there together. I don't have Semi's phone number. I only texted Shirabu, but he'd often respond 2 hours late. Okay, first, get yourself ready. Go take a shower. Find some clothes that you're comfortable wearing. Don't wear anything fancy. It's going to be a walk in the park, so your top opt is to wear colorful patterns or dark shade clothing. Secondly, don't think too much about how it's going to be. You gotta experience it. Thirdly, have fun with him. When Goshiki saw the last message Tendou sent him, he screamed again. He tried sending him a text back. About 10 messages, but Tendou didn't respond, nor did he even see it. Goshiki sighed. He knew that asking for help from Tendou would be a mistake, but he just needed someone to help him out. Without wasting any more time, Goshiki decided that he wanted to continue the plans and not text Koganegawa to cancel. Instead, he sent him a good morning text. Good morning. 8:28 AM. Before stepping outside of the campus, Goshiki texted Ushijima that he won't be practicing today, and that he had plans. So he tells Ushijima that, although to his surprise, Ushijima already knows. I already know. Tendou told me that you're gonna hang out with someone. Goshiki felt embarrassed. Someone like Ushijima, his idol, the person that he looks up to, knows that he'll be spending some time with someone this evening, and that Tendou told him about it. Even though he felt embarrassed, Ushijima knew it was the least of his worries. What's he more worried about is his coach. He didn't receive permission to skip practice today, and he knew that he would be served the worst punishment ever. Just my luck. Goshiki felt his phone vibrate twice. He checked his phone and saw that Tendou had messaged him. From Satori Tendou. Time 8:29 AM. Don't worry, I told the coach that you weren't feeling well. You may still get a penalty for skipping practice though, but I did the best I could to excuse you. Goshiki felt relieved seeing that. Only this time Goshiki didn't feel angry at him. He was happy knowing that Tendou, his senior, was helping him, which for him is a rare opportunity. When he arrived at Princess Garden, he was surprised to see such beautiful flowers surrounding the area. Very vibrant and colorful colors that warmed the heart of a person. Wow, it's so beautiful. Goshiki. Goshiki heard someone yell his name. He turned around and saw Koganegawa. Goshiki was surprised. This was his first time seeing him outside of his school uniform, and he wore something so formal which surprised him, because he never thought that Koganegawa would wear a loose button-down shirt, a belt, a jean, and a leather bracelet. Is something wrong, Goshiki? Koganegawa asked, his hand almost reaching Goshiki's face, but he responded and backed away before he could. Goshiki didn't realize he was studying him. No. I'm just surprised to see you outside of your school uniform. Koganegawa laughed awkwardly, scratching the back of his head in response to that comment. Utakachi said that I should wear something like this when I'm on a date. Oh okay. Goshiki didn't realize what he said at first. It seemed pretty normal. When he realized what he said, it felt like Cupid hit one of his arrows straight into his heart. Wait a minute, a date? Is this a date? Goshiki felt his heart beat faster and his face heats up. He looked down at his shoes. He didn't want Koganegawa to see his blushing mess. And that's when he realized the clothes he was wearing. Just a plain black shirt to hide the stain if he ever spills anything, and dark purple pants. Why did I have to wear something so plain? I should have asked Semi for advice on what to wear. Semi was a fashionista according to Goshiki. Despite Tendou saying that Semi has a weird sense of taste, which according to him, and that made Semi wore something that's less interesting for the past 3 weeks. Come on, let's not waste any more time. I heard that one of my favorite flowers is around there somewhere, Koganegawa said, pointing his finger off to the distance before he started jogging to that area. Without knowing that Goshiki saw the back of his blonde hair tousling in the air. Without knowing that Goshiki's own lip curved slowly at the sight. Koganegawa and Goshiki spend their time together looking at beautiful, colorful flowers that they didn't even check the times on their phones. They were too preoccupied with their own looking at such beautiful colorful plants. As they walked, the sky that was once clear turned dark. Goshiki noticed this and he tried informing Koganegawa. Koganegawa, I think the sky is getting darker. Do you think that it will rain soon? Koganegawa looked up. His expression shifted as he noticed the clouds darkening. The sun, which had been shining brightly, were covered by the veil of thick gray clouds. Maybe. But let's just wait and see. Sometimes it's the clouds passing by. Goshiki nodded and they continued on their tracks. Eventually, they reach a pond. Goshiki and Koganegawa looked down at the pond and saw their reflections. Goshiki's eyes shifted to look at Koganegawa from the reflections. His height was taller than Goshiki, his shoulders more broad, his arms more muscular, and a bit of veins popped out from his hands. The water is so clear that I can see my reflection. Yeah, me too. Koganegawa crouched down and touched the surface of the water. Cold. Water touched his fingertips. It's cold, Koganegawa said enthusiastically, and his hands went deeper down into the pond, reaching his wrist. Goshiki chuckled at his childish behavior. He wanted to take a closer look at his reflections, so he took a step closer. By the time his feet moved, he felt tiny droplets of water down on him. Huh? Water? Before he could react, rain started pouring down heavily on him. Goshiki, it's raining. Let's go find shelter. Koganegawa stands up and grabs Goshiki's arms. They ran trying to find shelter. After they found shelter, they quickly went inside the gazebo. They were breathing heavily and tried rinsing out the water from their clothes. But their clothes couldn't be dried. Not from this heavy rain. Goshiki looked outside of the gazebo. The rain is pouring heavily and there are no signs that will eventually stop. I don't think the rain will stop soon. Let's wait here for a while then. Yeah. Okay. Goshiki heard Koganegawa's voice seemed to be lower than usual. He didn't understand why he seemed so sad about the rain. It's just a normal thing. You don't have to get so upset about the rain. I know, but... Koganegawa clenched his fist tightly. Goshiki saw his expression. His eyes shut tightly. His brows furrowed in anger. I wanted this day to be special so I can confess to you, but everything is ruined because of the rain. Goshiki's heart skipped a beat hearing that. He did want to confess to Goshiki, and that was the reason why he picked this place. I'm sorry, Goshiki. I ruined your day. I wasted your time because of me. I'm so hopeless. Goshiki looked at Koganegawa. His fist clenched tightly, his head docked down, and Koganegawa couldn't bring himself to see the other person's face. But with all that said, he took a step towards the blonde. Koganegawa. Goshiki said his name in front of him, which made Koganegawa frightened. Goshiki looked up at the blonde with a slight blush on his cheeks. Let me be honest with you. This day is the greatest day I had ever had. Goshiki looked up, his expression soft. Flattery. His hair drooped down from the rain. His usual styled three-parted hair is now flat. The hair is swift back to his hair. I am so glad you invited me here. And if I'm being honest with you, Koganegawa, I also like you, but I just don't know how to confess it to you. Goshiki waited for a moment before allowing himself to continue. Thunder strikes in the distance, rumbling out far. You know, you're very brave to do this. Planning this whole thing. asking me out on a date. Another thunderclap. It echoes through the air. This time Goshiki didn't flinch. Instead, he brings his hand, the hand he was holding closely to his chest, reaches for his cheeks. I don't think I could ever done this even if someone were to force me. Even if someone were to hold a gun in my head. I just couldn't. Goshiki smiled at him. A thin curved lines form his lips. Even though it may be not romantic enough, I still want to say it. Kanji Koganegawa. Koganegawa's eyes widen slowly. You make me the most happiest person alive. Whenever you're around me, I've just never been honest with my feelings. Koganegawa's eyes widened more as he heard the last sentence Goshiki said. He looks at the smaller male. His face is a red cherry blush. His hair wet. Water drops down from his hair and yet his bowl cut never seemed to left him. Goshiki looked at him waiting for his response. He knew that he was a blushing mess right now. Thunder kept striking up in the sky, but that didn't matter. Right now all he needs is to know what Koganegawa will say in return. Without knowing what he'll do, Koganegawa suddenly grabs his arms. Koganegawa. He started dragging him out of the gazebo and into the rain. His whole attire is now wet again. His hair, and his face. His body is shivering from the cold. Koganegawa, where are we going? Koganegawa didn't answer. He kept dragging him more into the rain. Goshiki's whole upper body is shivering from the cold. Even so, he couldn't ask him to stop, not when he seemed so determined. Eventually, Koganegawa has stopped dragging him when they reach a beautiful spot filled with tons of red roses. Goshiki huffed, trying to catch his breath as he breathed heavily. Why didn't we stay in the gazebo? It's raining like crazy. Because I didn't want you to steal the show. I'm taking the spotlight from you. What? Goshiki looked up at Koganegawa. To his surprise he saw him smiling at him. I planned this whole thing for me to confess to you, but you were the one who confessed to me. I can't have that. So, Koganegawa steps a little closer to Goshiki. Tsutomu Goshiki, I like you and I wanna be with you. I have liked you ever since the first year training camp. Although I wouldn't say I liked you at first sight. Maybe. 2 days after, Goshiki couldn't move. His eyes locked straight on the blonde. Unable to do anything. His face flushed. Because I know, there's no such thing as love at first sight, right? That would be way too cliche, don't you think? Koganegawa averted his gaze, avoiding Goshiki's eyes. I just wanna be with you. I just wanna be with such an amazing and talented person. It's a bit cliche, I know, but if I were to wish upon a star I would wish this for us. Goshiki jumps and hugs Koganegawa, his arms wrapped around his neck, his legs encircling his upper body. Koganegawa's strong arms instinctively wrapped around him, holding him close. Koganegawa, Goshiki. Their voices were barely a mere whisper. Rain kept heavily pouring down on them as thunder strikes above the clouds. Is everything you're telling me the truth? You wanna be with me? Of course. Koganegawa said. His face moves an inch closer. I wanna be with you. And I wanna be with you too. Koganegawa and Goshiki blushed deeply as their face drew closer. Can I wish upon a star to kiss you? Or would you rather be forced or be held by a gun to do so? Goshiki brushed his hair away from his face. He moves closer to him. You don't need to wish on anything. And I don't need to be forced or be held by a gun to my head for you to kiss me. The two lean in, pressing their lips together, as Goshiki gently touched Koganegawa's cheeks. Their kiss was soft and gentle, with warmth and affection in the pouring rain. Goshiki's wrapped his arms around Koganegawa's shoulders, while Koganegawa held him by the waist. Their lips parted away. They both look at each other for a moment. Kanji. Goshiki moved an inch closer to Koganegawa. Yes, Tsutomu, he answered. Their embrace was warm and comforting, the sound of the rain providing a soothing backdrop to their moment of shared vulnerability. Pinch my cheek and tell me that this is a dream. What? Koganegawa slightly lifted his brow, turning his head to the side in response to Goshiki's words. I don't think that this is real. This can't be real. It's way too surreal. Koganegawa burst out laughing. He never expected that Goshiki could be this funny. What? What are you laughing about? I'm being serious. At least put me to the ground. Koganegawa kept bursting out a laugh. After he finally relaxed, Koganegawa tightened his hands that were holding him around his waist. No way. If you think that this is a dream, there's no way that I would want to lose this opportunity. I got you all to myself, Goshiki. That's right. Goshiki smiled, his heart filled with warmth and happiness. I'm yours. Their eyes met, and for a moment, it felt like the world around them had faded away. And you're mine. Their embrace tightened, and they shared another gentle kiss. I hope you guys like this short one-shot video. See, I told you guys that there is no angst or sadness in here. I really think that putting a rain plus thunder sound effects might be good for the rain scene. I'm sorry if you guys think that it's quite distracting for you, or that you can't hear the dialogue well. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. It will help my channel grow. Bye bye.